tales can't come true. Why, it can't happen to you if you're young at heart.
Young at Heart started almost by accident. Sean Seaman was giving an impromptu concert at a rest home when a man who hadn't spoken in 2 years burst into song. Seaman knew he was onto something, the power of music and love to reawaken the senses for a special group of people.
If you survive to 105, look at all.
This one lady is 103, and when I sing that you should survive to 105, well, she grabs me after and she goes, I'm going to be 104 on my next birthday. She's sitting in a wheelchair telling me this, and let's just the two of us get a bottle of whiskey and go and get drunk all alone together. I thought, there it was. What a compliment. That's what, that made me feel great. Make them feel alive. Give them a to live, hope. Well, if you fall in love, whether it's in high school, college, whatever, you're swept up. Just that few minutes of falling in love with life again can carry you through. And that's what we do at Young at Heart.
Won't leave me, will you? All right. Well, another test. Should regret it. Oh, yes, you would. That day. You are my sunshine, my only sunshine. Make me happy when skies are gray.
Young at Heart isn't just for the elderly. Many of these patients are pretty young themselves, but their productive years have been cut short by accident or illness. They too are learning that a little love and a song goes further than all the medicine in the world.
How are you?
It was so remarkable to see someone like who has been basically bedridden and paralyzed, and he lights up and comes from this amazing place that it really defies your imagination.
You keep smiling.
It's Miami.
Now that Young at Heart is recognized as a charitable organization, they'd like to expand. To show a little love really does go a long way. In Santa Cruz, I'm Wes Sims, 46 Eyewitness News.
Boy, I love you so.
On a recent trip to Nevada, I had the opportunity to see Young at Heart in action. The founder of Young at Heart, Sean Seaman, who sings and plays guitar, and James Finger Shoup, a national fiddle champion, traveled to Las Vegas at my invitation to play at 2 nursing homes. Everywhere these musicians were, the reception was enthusiastic. The show was a big hit. They demonstrated how music can make older persons feel healthier and happier. Before the show at one home, an older woman in the front row sat with her head drooped almost to her chest, looking sad and very depressed. But by the end of the show, she was smiling, laughing, clapping, sitting up, and even singing along. She seemed like a completely different person because she was a different person. This transformation happened to other people, other residents of the hall. Perhaps the most miraculous event occurred during room visits, though. Young at Heart, after their main show, regularly visits patients who are too sick to make it out to the main show. The violinist, Fingers, visited Carmela, a resident who had refused to come out of her room for a long period of time, for years. Since she wouldn't come out for the main performance, Fingers went to her room to play for her. He played, started talking about her children and other things in her life. He had to move on. She proceeded to get dressed and follow him out of the room as he played for others. The nursing home staff was amazed, but Fingers and Sean were not amazed. This has happened before. What I saw in these performances convinced me that music can really have a profound effect on older persons, and we need to ensure that our senior citizens have access to these benefits. One of the best things about Young at Heart is that they play songs from the 20s, 30s, and 40s, music popular when seniors were young. Young at Heart takes time to learn the songs that work best, and their deep impact on audiences proves it. Singer and actor Theodore Bickel best explained why live programs like Young at Heart are so important. He asked, and I quote, "Do tapes and records furnished to the elderly have the same beneficial effect as a live musical experience? I doubt it. If it is true that pets are a source of great comfort and healing for the elderly, then surely toy dogs won't do just as good." End of quote. Young at Heart is living proof that musicians who care about their elders can bring joy and even new life to those confined in institutions or wheelchairs. I hope their music programs expand nationwide because I can see the need for similar efforts in every nursing home, in every state in the United States. Thank you very much.
Good evening, and welcome to Dimension Cable Seniors, The Changing Scene. I'm Agnes Gardner.
And I'm Rex Tyner, and too, I welcome you people here. It's great to have you with us today. We have a very great show coming up in both segments, but this particular one because we have not had this type of thrust before. We're going to be talking about organizations that's called Young at Heart. This is a professional and well, actually, it's one of the greatest shows that's new here in our area, but it is a group of professional people who are donating their time to bring great services to our older people. Now, we have with us on this segment Paul Mondshein, who is going to be here particularly to tell us about everything that goes on in this organization. And we have Laurie Bergeson. Now, she is the program director of the Saddleback Valley YMCA. So putting these two people together, sit back, enjoy this segment of our show. Welcome, Paul, and welcome, Laurie. We're so happy to have you with us.
Thanks for having us, sir.
We've heard about you, but not too much about you, Paul, and we're so happy that you could come to bring us up to date on the Young at Heart. How did this organization get started?
Well, it actually got started with a professional musician, Sean Seaman, about 15 years ago. He was a touring professional with a record on the market. I was in the record business at the time. And Sean was asked in Texas to do a benefit at a convalescent hospital. What happened was really miraculous. There was an elderly gentleman who was wheeled into the show. And in the course of the show, started singing along with Sean. Sang through the rest of the show and was wheeled off. Sean's reaction was, why is all the professional staff so intrigued by this? Well, what Sean found out was that this gentleman hadn't spoken a word in over 2 years, and since that performance, he began speaking again and relating to his peers.
Well, tell us, Paul, how did Young at Heart first get started, and what caused your involvement, and how was it initially funded?
Well, of course, we've talked about the reason why, but Sean came to me, we became friends. I became friends with a lot of professional musicians and asked for my assistance in putting together the original grant, which we did with the local area on aging in Santa Cruz County. We wrote a grant to the Cultural Council of Santa Cruz, and the idea was to do a year-long program bringing underlying professional entertainment to nursing and convalescent hospitals in the Santa Cruz area.
What does Young at Heart do, and why do they do it?
Well, I think there have been many studies proving the healing and the positive qualities of live music to elderly audiences. And so Young at Heart specifically tailors a repertoire. They're all professional entertainers, but they specifically tailor a repertoire that's based on the music of the 20s, 30s, and 40s, so that we're relating to these people the music that was popular when they were young and vibrant and alive. And you can see it in the performance as you will.
Oh, sure, I know what it does to me, don't you, Rex?
It does a lot to you always, doesn't it?
It sure does. And Laurie, Is there any clinical basis for bringing live music to your seniors, live professional music, in fact?
Well, I think that the most important thing about the music is that it focuses on the long-term memory of the seniors, which often remains intact when there is some type of physical impairment, and brings them back to the good old days. They can often remember the words to all these songs when they may not be able to remember things that happened in a shorter time period.
Sure, that sort of a memory hook association.
Exactly, exactly.
Well, isn't that wonderful that we have this type of a
Rex.
program and people who are willing to give of their time. So good to have you back with us, not on this show, but you and I work together over there with Saddleback College.
Right.
How are things going?
Real well. Great.
You have a great organization over there.
Thank you.
Well, at this time, we're going to have a video clip, folks, showing something about the Young at Heart, and we have one of their musicians, Sean Seaman, who's going to be performing. So sit back and enjoy this segment.
Right in my arms. But when I awoke, I was mistaken. Oh, I just hung my head and I cried. Are my sunshine, my only sunshine. You make me happy when skies are gray. You'll never know, dear, how much I love you. Please don't take my sunshine away. You are my sunshine, my only sunshine. You make me happy when skies are gray. You'll never know, dear, how much I love you. Please don't take my sunshine away. Now, Lillian, I'm always gonna love you, darling. We're so color coordinated to make you happy. If you alone only do the same. Just think. That's right. I figured you did. But if you leave me, oh, please don't leave me to love another. I'll tell you something, because don't you know you regret it? Yes, you will someday, because you are my sunshine, my only sunshine. You make me happy when skies are gray. You'll never know, dear, how much I love you. Please don't take my sunshine away. One more time, here we go. Please don't take my sunshine
Oh, great clip. Great
Oh,
clip.
beautiful, beautiful
Laurie, now you were
music.
there when they were singing,
Uh-huh.
and this fella, Sean, must be a great performer.
Oh, he's wonderful.
He
Wonderful.
really seems to have brought out in these people memories going
Yes.
way, way back.
Yes.
Let's talk a little, chat for just a moment here about your work there. Some of the needs that are fulfilled when we see this type of music brought to them. What does it do to these people?
Well, I think the most important thing is validation. You're singing songs from their time period. It brings back a lot of happy memories, and I think you can tell there's a bond that takes place there. I mean, he focuses in on these people. He makes them feel important. His attention is centered on them, and I think that's what they really need.
Well, it looks to me like they really were enjoying this. You get this, I'm sure, wherever this group goes.
I think the amazing thing to watch, even if it's over the course of a year or even over hour-long show is the rapport and the bonding that takes place between the audience and the musician. It's incredible what happens in that period of time. Because you have people putting hands on Sean's face, saying, "I love you."
Oh, is that right?
In 45 minutes.
Gorgeous.
Yes.
I can
So it's generation to
imagine.
generation, but it's really heart to heart.
Nothing could be finer than to be in Carolina in the morning. Nothing could be sweeter than my sweetie when I meet at dawn. And now where the morning glories twine around that door, whispering pretty stories I long to hear once more. Strolling with my girlie where the dew's pearly early in the morning. Butterflies flutter up and kiss each buttercup at dawning. If I had a lamp for only a day, I'd make a wish, and here's what I'd say. I'd say nothing could be finer than being in Carolina in the morning. Now where the morning glories twine around that door, whispering pretty stories I long to hear once more. Stroll with my girlie where the dew's pearly early in the morning. Butterflies flutter up and kiss each buttercup at dawning. If I had Aladdin's lamp for only a day, I'd make a wish, and here's what I'd say. I'd say nothing could be finer than being in Carolina.
One of the magical things about music is its ability to take us places, to other countries, to other times in history, and certainly to periods in our lives when we laughed and enjoyed ourselves. Tonight on Cover Story, we focus on a musical group that performs for an audience often forgotten. Each seems to be the other's sunshine. The musicians play and sing, but these faces warm musicians. The grace of give and take, created by a group called Young at Heart, organized by Sean Seaman, who knows when he's reached someone.
When we start out, a little old lady may be curled up. You have to really understand how to recognize it. She'll curl up, and at the end of the performance, if she's just changed a little bit.
Seaman took care of his mother until she died at the age of 2. He's the guardian for his 90-year-old aunt and is not afraid to get down on his knees and sing, getting an "I love you" in return. 6 years ago, Seaman's group of 10 performers began giving charity performances in nursing homes. They bring back the music and smiles of the 20s, 30s, and 40s. Living on investments, Seaman gets grant money so the Young at Heart groups can travel and play. With fiddler James Fingers Shoop, they remind folks of making whoop.
So willing to make a whoopee.
This 1990 National Trick and Fancy Fiddler tunes pianos during the daytime, carving time for these performances.
And we've tried to validate their past by bringing the music from the 20s and 30s and 40s into them, and that's a vehicle for validation, making them feel young again. With the soul is still young, that's what we're one soul to another. That's what we're trying to do.
L is for the way you look at me.
I've watched musicians come out and say that it's the best experience they've had. But at the beginning, sometimes it was difficult getting them to agree to come in and begin performances in the homes. They spend longer hours at the shows, they go beyond in room visits, they spend extra time, and they're anxious to perform.
And believing you're only as young as you feel, they all join in, including Richie for the finale of every performance of Young at Heart.
Here is the part, you have a head start, if you are among the very young.
You the Young at Heart group perform for 40 minutes. They go room to room as well at about a dozen different nursing homes a month in Santa Cruz County, and they're going to be doing introductory shows in Monterey and Santa Clara counties. You can find them in Santa Cruz.
We will hear innumerable cases.